In this video, I actually explain the making of Opal sunglasses and everything that was done to make them. Everybody loves a silent video, right? I mean, it's a lot of fun. Everybody likes it. But sometimes you just need a verbal explanation to really understand what's going on. This guy's explaining things and the people are happy. Just look at the smiles. Here's the whole story. After a recent video that I made on synthetic opal, my son said that if I make a pair of opal sunglasses out of this material, I will get 1 million views. Crowds will love me. I'll be universally heralded. I'll have a viral video. How great would that be? As it turns out, though, I didn't even have a bacterial video. So here's the story, straight from the horse's mouth. The sunglasses that I wanted to make were about 140 millimeters wide, but the leftover piece from the previous video was only about 100 millimeters wide. And the glasses are about 44 millimeters high, and the thickness of the block was only 40. So what could I do? Well, I called in a team, and they brought in a bigger piece. This one was only $1 a gram. It weighed more than 700 grams. What a deal. But it was big enough to make the glasses. One problem. It's only 40 millimeters thick, and I needed 44, so I had to cut it at this angle, and that was the main problem. So I decided to prop up the block at an angle and cut it with my lapidary trim saw. It didn't work. So I tried my other saw. It didn't work either. And I came to learn that you cannot use lapidary equipment to do ordinary tasks. As Mark Twain said, if the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Do you think this guy's going to cut this tree down? I don't. And what about this bunny? He's screwed. So it's true, when the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I realized I had to get a real saw and do some real work. It was very hard work, and I struggled mightily, but I got the job done. I cut the pieces that I actually need. 2 slabs of synthetic opal, one for the temple part and one for the eyeglasses part. Now, despite my ignorance about the saw, I did know that I needed 2 pieces of equipment to get the job done: a belt sander and a scroll saw. Now, as any good doctor will tell you, the 2 most important organs in the human body are the hands and the spleen. But the hands, very important, so that's why I protect my hands with Ninja Flex gloves. Ninja Flex. They're like a ninja, only flexible. Well, more flexible. I sometimes wear these on my spleen as well. So the goal here is to use the belt sander to thin this out to about 3.8 millimeters. That's the right thickness for the temple part of the glasses. And sometimes I went faster, but in the end, I got it right. Now I'm on the scroll saw. Look at me go. Whew! Why wasn't I wearing gloves? Boy, I had it on my spleen at the time, but not my hands. Now, you may have noticed the cuts on my hands. This was due to an unfortunate accident where I depended on YouTube to help me out.
Put pressure there and force it outwards. I'm going to force it towards the front like so, and I'm going to push out. And there we have it.
Well, that procedure works well with plastic lenses, but not so well with the glass ones, as I found out. Here I'm breaking my own rules by using lapidary equipment to work on other things, but it did smooth them out pretty well. Now, I'm also using lapidary equipment to drill holes, and I needed the holes in order to keep from cutting through the rim of the glasses. This allowed me to cut out the center parts without cutting the frames themselves. Success! I was able to cut out the area for the lenses with no problem. Here I'm violating the rules by using lapidary equipment to round off the sharp edges and polishing them, and they came out very nice. Now, I'm also using lapidary equipment to smooth off the rough edges of the frames themselves. I shouldn't be doing this, yet I am. Look at that motion, like a professional. Now grinding more. Oh, this time I'm actually beveling the sharp edges of the frames themselves. Now I'm polishing with graded sandpapers from 120 up to 12,000. And with 12,000, you get a great polish. As you can see, very nice. Nobody likes to talk about nose pads. Who likes to talk about them? But they have to be there, or the glasses will slip off of your face onto the ground to be lost forever, or worse, broken. And they came out pretty nice, perfect for your nose. The hinges were pretty difficult. I decided that it would be best if I epoxy the hinges in place first and then drill. I had to use a pin vise to hold the 1mm bit to make the tiny hole for the screws. This is very difficult work. Not really. And I can tell you, I definitely put the screws to these frames. Finished. So now all I have to do is attach the temple pieces, just screw them in, and we'll be ready to go. One quick look at all the pieces that gave their lives so that these glasses might live. Who's that? I don't know. Who's that? I don't know either. But the finished frames, well, they speak for themselves. Well, not really. I have to speak for them. I think that they're beautiful, they're colorful, they're blinging, and they're badass. Kinda. Too bad you didn't like my original video. I guess you probably won't like this either. But if you do, hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. And I'll see you next time. Or will I?